Good afternoon. Welcome to Eye on Sheridan. I'm Ryan Russell.
And I'm Gabby Mendoza. Coming up in the show, today marks a 100-day countdown to the much-anticipated Pan Am Games. Tragic news for Canadian diplomat's family, and we'll have the latest on the Germanwings crash.
But first, the two men who were involved in a violent confrontation with the TTC officers at Union Station on January 29th have been charged with assault and uttering death threats. Though the TTC conducted an internal investigation, management, including CEO Andy Byford, said they were left in the dark about the incident until the video surfaced on social media. The reason behind the original aggression towards the officers is not clear, but the TTC will be providing the Toronto Police with their own footage, which captured the incident.
The ground opened up this morning in parking lot near Black Creek Avenue in Eglinton, taking down a car with it. A huge sinkhole developed underneath the Jaguar while the driver, Mario Tavares, was still driving. The doors were sealed with water and dirt, forcing Mario to escape through the roof of his car. No one was hurt in the incident.
The teaching and graduate assistant strike has ended at York University. All students are back in class and tutorials today for the first time in over a month. The teaching assistants voted Tuesday to approve a tentative deal resulting in wage raises. Also, under the new deal, York will freeze tuition for the union's 2,700 teaching and graduating assistants and repay each of its 250 international graduate students the $7,000 of tuition hike they had paid last fall.
Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne spoke out today against an Indiana state law that promotes discrimination against homosexual people. The Religious Freedom Act makes it legal for business owners to turn away customers and fire employees if they are homosexual. Wynne said it was completely unacceptable to have a law like this in 21st century society. Indiana Governor Mike Pence has vowed to change the law, but denies it's intended to be homophobic. Premier Wynne also says that after a review by the Attorney General's office, the prostitution law she had originally been skeptical of has been found to be constitutional. Wynne previously expressed concern when the law came into effect in December, saying she feared it would not help keep sex workers safe. A coalition of sex trade workers and their supporters had previously called on Wynne to not enforce the law.
Tens of thousands of foreign workers are being forced to leave the country as of today. Without achieving permanent resident status, they are unable to remain in Canada and work. The government has come under criticism from the opposition for not allowing the workers to stay until the final decision is reached on whether they can apply to return as permanent residents.
A new report from PricewaterhouseCoopers highlights growing concerns over the efficiency of the new social assistance management system and the Ontario government's handling of it. SAMS is a computer system in charge of releasing disability and welfare money in Ontario, but since its inception last year, it's caused nothing but problems. In December alone, the system held more than $20 million in unreleased disability and welfare payments. The Center for Advanced Manufacturing and Design Technologies hosted an open house yesterday at the Davis campus. Our reporter Chris Dobigan went to check out their 3D printing technology.
To some, the idea of a machine that makes almost anything you can think of seems too good to be true. However, students here at Sheridan's Davis campus have the opportunity to use this technology every day. The Center for Advanced Manufacturing and Design Technologies hosted an open house on Tuesday, giving people the chance to experience state-of-the-art 3D printing technology firsthand.
I was looking at building my own 3D printer, so I thought, oh wow, I could look at this and see one for myself.
The way a 3D printer works is a digital blueprint is fed into the machine. The machine will then divide the design into horizontal sections and then start building the product layer by layer.
Sheridan spent $1 million on the machines 2 years ago. The school boasts the most sophisticated production system available. The machines mainly produce small parts for industrial devices. However, they are capable of creating much more.
We are working with a lot of companies around us in the automotive industry, aerospace industry, and we are going to work with the healthcare.
Mechanical engineering students work in the center on a daily basis. The current big project is creating a life-size, fully functioning robot named Jessie.
That's one of the largest plans that I'm involved with right now, is completely printing the rest of the body.
This particular object took 4 hours to print. However, it really is worth the wait for something that completes objects right from scratch. Reporting for Eye on Sheridan, I'm Chris Tobigan.
Tim Hortons is getting ready to roll out a new flavor of coffee in 5 Canadian test markets. The flavor is being called Three Peaks Colombian and is sourced from Cauca, Colombia. It will be tested over 8 weeks in Sudbury and North Bay, Ontario, St. John and Montauk, New Brunswick, and Abitibi, Quebec. This will be the second new flavor introduced since the company was bought by 3G Capital. Keurig is a distributor of the K-Cup, and the leader of single-serve coffee in North America. They vowed to create a completely recyclable coffee pod by 2020. The promise comes after growing concerns over the millions of coffee pods flooding our landfills. Other companies are looking for recyclable and compostable options as well, letting you drink your cup of joe guilt-free.
And now we go live to the marketplace where our reporter Michael Ipiakubi lets us know about the benefits of prepping your lunchtime meals for the day. Michael?
Hi, Sheridan students. I know when you're hungry, I know what you're doing. You're running all the way to the caf, but guess what? The healthier and what's better for your wallet is going home and prepping some food. A sound students are very familiar with. No matter if it's before class, during class, or after class, students find themselves searching through some change and digging out their pockets to purchase food. Students make these choices because they're hard-pressed to find time.
Like wake up at 6 and start driving to school, so I don't usually have time, and usually when I'm back up home it's already late and I'm doing my work, so it's just convenience sake.
Students should try to spend some time in the morning prepping themselves some food. Not every food takes a long time. Try these items.
Balanced protein, fats, carbs, good fats, avocados, salmon, good proteins against turkey, fish, chicken, good carbohydrates, sweet potato, broccoli, cauliflower.
Instead of purchasing that $5 pizza at the caf, bring a banana or an apple and make yourself a healthy lunch.
If you can kind of get a little up earlier in the morning and prepare your meals, like in the long run, it'll help you, especially with the tuition costs that we all have, right? So,
if you do think you'll eat out, try some healthy choices like Subway or a Harvey's Angus burger, which Perfect Bite suggests as the healthiest fast food burger in Canada. I'm going now. Do yourself a favor, Sheridan. Make sure you go home every morning, wake up, and then prepare yourself some food. For Ion Sheridan at the Trafalgar campus, it's your boy, Michael Piakubi. Have a good one. Back to the news desk.
Thank you, Michael. A Toronto research group has published a study claiming people who are unsuccessful at committing suicide on their first attempt are far more likely to attempt it again. The team of researchers evaluated each patient that came to a hospital emergency room in Ontario for self-poisoning over 8 years and found that individuals were 42% more likely to try again than members of the general population. A citizenship ceremony in Toronto will welcome 100 new people into Canada today. The ceremony is being held at the recently completed Athletes Village to coincide with there being 100 days until the opening of 2015 Pan Am Games. Chair board for the Games, David Peterson, indicated the event will help to celebrate diversity, just like the Games themselves. And now we'll head over to Pierce with an early look at your sports news. Pierce?
Coming up in sports, we have an NHL recap. Blue Jays announced their opening day starter, and for you soccer fans, some results from the European friendlies.
Thanks, Pierce. We reveal your co-host for the 2015 Much Music Awards, and Justin Bieber opens up an tell-all interview with USA Today. All of those stories and much more later. Now, here's Elizabeth with your early weather update.
This long winter season is almost over, and people can't wait to enjoy their daily activities outdoor. Coming up later on the show, I went to seek people's opinion on what they'll be doing in the warmer seasons ahead. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Elizabeth. After the break, we'll have an update on the ambassador stabbing in South Korea.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. A Canadian diplomat's son has been killed in Miami, Florida. Roxanne Dubé, Canada's Consul General in Miami, has lost her eldest son, Jean, after he was shot in an alleged drug robbery gone wrong. Her younger son, Mark, 15, was arrested in connection with the incident. Police say that the two had been intending to commit armed robbery against a suspected drug dealer, which ended in a shootout. Canadian officials are looking into the events.
South Korean prosecutors have charged a man with the attempted murder of U.S. Ambassador Mark Lippert. Lippert was ambushed by a man with a 10-inch blade while giving a lecture in South Korea's capital, Seoul, last month. Kim Ki-young will face trial in the next 14 days. Early in this morning, Iraqi forces reclaimed the northern city of Tikrit from ISIS after a month-long battle for the territory. The victory was announced on state television by President and military commander Haider al-Abadi. The push to regain the city came days after a series of American airstrikes weakened ISIS strongholds around Tikrit. The airstrikes allowed members of the Iraqi military to infiltrate and secure much of the city, leaving only small pockets of resistance. The city was originally captured by ISIS last June.
At least 4 people are dead after Super Typhoon Maisak struck the West Pacific Islands this morning. The deaths of 3 adults and a child were reported by Chief of Staff for the Chuuk State Governor. The typhoon reached speeds of 160 kilometers per hour as it passed Micronesia earlier today. The storm is expected to weaken significantly before reaching the Philippines this weekend.
3 skiers have died in an avalanche today on the French Alps. According to authorities, there were 11 people skiing and the 4 were swept away. The 4th member remains in critical condition. A local official told reporters that the group was most likely Austrians, but they were waiting to interrogate the survivors. This is the second tragedy in the mountain range in just 8 days after the Germanwings flight crashed. Senior executives of Lufthansa Germanwings parent company visited the crash site of Flight 9525 in the French Alps today and paid their tribute to the 150 people who died last week.
To turn this place into a place of mourning for the relatives and friends of the victims, and also to restore this beautiful countryside.
The Lufthansa CEO said that it will take a long time to understand how this could have happened. However, he refused to comment on co-pilot Andreas Lubitz's psychological state. 2 European magazines are claiming that a cell phone memory card has been found in the wreckage with footage of the final moments inside the plane. They have not released the alleged footage.
The wreckage of Flight 624, which crashed onto the runway of Halifax Airport 2 days ago, was removed overnight. Transportation Safety Board investigators are still speaking with former passengers and collecting evidence to determine the specific cause of the crash.
And after the break, we'll have your NHL, MLB, and soccer highlights with Pierce Lang.
And we'll give you an update on Joni Mitchell's condition. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now let's head over to Pierce with your sports news.
Pierce, I want Connor McDavid. Why the heck do the Leafs keep winning?
Well, the Leafs just don't seem to be able to do anything right these days, Ryan. With an eye on first in the Eastern Conference, the Lightning were in town to face the Buds. On the Leafs power play, Joachim Lindstrom shot banks off Nazem Kadri, giving the Leafs a 1-0 lead. 3 minutes later, the Leafs doubled the score. David Booth finds the net on a solo effort from the right wing boards, beating Andrei Vasilevsky. Ryan Callahan buries the puck past James Reimer off a one-timer from Andre Palat to get Tampa within 1 before the break. Nazem Kadri feeds Morgan Riley for the Leafs insurance marker early in the third. TO take it 3-1. In other NHL action last night, Ottawa visited Detroit, where they celebrated Gordie Howe's 87th birthday. The game is tied at 1 after regulation. It takes a shootout to decide the affair, with the Sens' Mark Stone potting the winner. Ottawa wins 2-1. Boston taking on Florida with just over a minute left. Milan Lucic waltzes into the Panther zone, fires from the slot past Bobby Lou for the 3-2 victory. In DC, Alex Ovechkin becomes the sixth player to have 6 50-goal seasons. His marker propelled the Caps to a 4-2 win over Carolina. Winnipeg Jets defenseman Dustin Byfuglien has a phone hearing tomorrow with the NHL's Department of Player Safety. The hearing is for a dangerous cross-check on the New York Rangers forward JT Miller. This will be Byfuglien's first suspension for on-ice conduct in his 10 NHL seasons. The Toronto Blue Jays announced that Drew Hutchison will get the nod on opening day for the Toronto Blue Jays. This is the first opening day start for the 24-year-old hurler. Mississauga native Dalton Pompey is making the journey north to start the season with the big club as well. The Jays play their home opener on April 13th against the Tampa Bay Rays. The 2015 Major League Baseball season is already off to a record-breaking start before anyone has thrown a pitch. The average salary on opening day will be beyond $4 million, according to a study from the Associated Press. At $31 million, LA Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw is the highest paid player. The Dodgers will have an opening day payroll of $270 million, finally surpassing the Yankees as the payroll kingpins. Now, continuing with our bi-weekly segment on ways to beat the winter blahs, I went down the road to iFly Toronto to scope out the latest craze, indoor skydiving. Modern technology has made the age-old desire for human flight a reality. And luckily for Sheridan students, iFly Toronto is located only minutes from the Trafalgar campus.
We simulate the free fall aspect of a skydive, but the only real difference is when you enter into our chamber, you're entering into terminal velocity.
Now, they do give you an extensive training program and some personal guidance before they let you in, but we've already done all that, so we're going to put our helmets on and get in there. Now, the thing is, for us today, the wind speeds are going to be at about 170 kilometers an hour. For a lot of the competitions, they range even higher, all the way up to 250, but we're just beginners, so we're going to keep it nice and low. Let's give it a try. All the instruction I'd been given went right out the window, but fortunately Mike was there to continue with my lesson. After each flight, you're able to review your jump on their monitors. All the instruction in the world isn't going to stop you from making stupid faces, though.
It's not at all scary. Once you get past the first stage of actually jumping into it, so it's definitely an experience that everyone should experience.
It really is great fun, and it seems everyone seems to have the same advice.
Don't be too stiff, just relax and hold still. Only that. That really, if you're able to relax, everything's going to be all right.
On this day in sports history, New York Islanders great Mike Bossy became the first NHL rookie to score 50 goals in a season back in 1978. In 1919, the Stanley Cup was canceled due to a worldwide flu epidemic. No winner was declared in the series between Montreal and the Seattle Metropolitans. Sports producer David Lilly recalls the occasion as a dark day in sports history, tarnishing memories of a great childhood and a great season. The international break in soccer concluded yesterday with a full slate of friendlies. Among the highlights were Italy and England playing to a 1-1 draw. Cape Verde stunned a Portuguese squad that was missing Cristiano Ronaldo, among others, 2-0. And TFC striker Josie Altidore was sent off with his U.S. side battled to a 1-1 draw against the Swiss. That's all for sports. Now over to Fiza with your entertainment news.
Thank you, Pierce. April Fool's Day saw some big-name companies let loose this morning, proving they can prank with the best of them.
This isn't my flight!
Oh. Sir! Pranksters at WestJet spared no expense in creating a mock commercial for fake chairs called Smart Seats, designed to take passengers from the airport lounge right to the plane. Google played with users with an interactive Pac-Man game on their Maps feature. Microsoft also joined in on the fun by announcing Office 2016 for cats, which featured programs called Power Pounds, One Nap, and Meow. Jay-Z's latest business endeavor hit the market this week. His new music streaming service, Tidal, says it will compete with Spotify and Google by providing a higher quality listening experience and exclusive content. Beyoncé, Madonna, and Rihanna, among others, stars helped the rap mogul celebrate the relaunch of the app, which cost him a whopping $56 million. It's available for iOS and Android starting at $10 a month or $20 for higher streaming quality. It's been an emotional roller coaster for One Direction fans after singer Zayn Malik announced he was leaving the boy band. Just 1 week later, Malik released a solo track that seems to be stirring up more drama. The acoustic song I Won't Mind is clearly rubbing former bandmate Lutie Thompson in the wrong way. He fired an angry tweet at Malik's record producer, Naughty Boy, calling him inconsiderate and telling him to grow up. The Rolling Stones are returning to North America this summer for a 15-city zip code tour for their reissue Sticky Fingers album. This will be the first time the rock legends are coming back to North America since 2007. The Stones will kick off their tour starting in May in San Diego and finish it off in Canada. But don't expect to see them in Toronto. You'll have to catch them at their only Canadian show in Quebec on July 15th. Legendary singer-songwriter John Mitchell is in intensive care after being rushed to hospital late last night. The 71-year-old was found unconscious in her LA home. Although the cause of the emergency is unknown, the Canadian-born Grammy winner has a history of health issues, including a rare skin condition. Mitchell's reps have since released a statement saying she's awake and in good spirits. Justin Bieber is looking to get back into the public's good grace, supposedly turning a new leaf with his Comedy Central roast. He's now opening up in a tell-all interview with USA Today. Bieber tells USA Today that life in the spotlight hasn't been easy, especially from such a young age. Bieber will continue his musical career and says he's still growing and figuring out what kind of man he wants to be. British chef Jamie Oliver is putting his oven mitt down on mandatory diet education and urging Canadian politicians to join his international campaign geared towards developed countries. Oliver, who is known for his cooking shows and healthy eating campaigns, believes something needs to be done about diet-related diseases. The chef is looking to open millions of signatures on his petition worldwide via change.org. Within the first 24 hours, he's reached 160,000 signatures. Avril Lavigne has revealed she has Lyme disease. The Canadian singer-songwriter says she believes she developed the disease after being bitten by a tick. She says she was then in bed, ridden for 5 months. Lavigne's husband and frontman of Nickelback, Chad Kroeger, visited her while touring, and she says the support of her fans and their get well messages touched her deeply. Avril says she's feeling 80% better and is looking forward to releasing her new music video. Ed Sheeran has officially been named co-host of the 2015 Much Music Video Awards. The multi-platinum artist is no stranger to the MMVAs, and this will be his 4th consecutive appearance. He's announced his gig during the roast of Justin Bieber Monday night.
My name's Ed, and this is Justin Bieber, and I'm hosting the MMVAs on the 21st of June. Save your screams.
The 6-time Grammy Award nominee says he's thrilled that he is asked to be co-host of the show and hopes it isn't an April Fool's joke. Our own Domain Reed Leckie visited the Light of Diversity art exhibition featuring original artwork by Sheridan students in the Anthropology of Music elective.
To show freedom of expression. Whether it's music, sculptures, or paintings, it's an outlet to get your message out. Some students have their artwork on display for the Light and Diversity art exhibition. I spoke with Anna Boshnikova, the professor who overseen the project, about what the exhibition is about.
Original artworks are a visual component to a creative research-based assignment in the grad elective course Anthropology of Music.
The artwork is so breathtaking, I feel like I'm a part of the pieces myself. If you wish to catch the Light and Diversity exhibit, come on down to the Queen Elizabeth Park Committee and Cultural Center. Reporting for Eye on Sheridan, I'm Demaine Reed-Leckie.
That's all I have for entertainment. Now back over to Ryan and Gabby.
It's time for a break, but when we come back, we'll head outside with Elizabeth and your full 5-day forecast.
See you soon. Welcome back to Eye on Sheridan.
It was definitely a little warmer walking to class today. Can we expect more of the same throughout the week? Elizabeth?
Yes, Ryan, this week might be the week where the warm weather is here to stay. It's sunny this afternoon with a high of 8. This evening will be partly cloudy with a high of 3, but will feel like -1. Overnight will be cloudy with clear breaks, a high of 2 with a low of -3. This is your 5-day forecast. Thursday will be a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of showers in the morning. We will get light rains in the afternoon with a high of 14. Friday is cloudy with a 30% chance of showers, a high of 10 with a low of -3. Saturday is another mix of sun and cloud with 60% chance of snow, a high of 1 with a low of -7. Again, a mix of sun and clouds on Sunday with a high of 3 and a low of -9. Monday will be sunny, a high of 9 and a low of -3. We have endured a long winter season, so now that the weather is clearing up, let's hear what Sheridan students have planned.
I really enjoyed the winter season. It was a lot of skiing, snowboarding. It was something that I enjoy. I like the cold, so it didn't bother me that much.
I think the winter was a bit of a challenge, commuting all the way from Brampton to Oakville.
Really awesome. Really happy that it's finally sunny out.
And what do you plan to do for the summer season?
Try to go to the beach a lot and travel, maybe.
I plan to sit on a beach with a lot of beer.
That's all I have for this week's forecast. Now back to the newsroom.
Thank you for joining us today on Eye on Sheridan. I'm Ryan Rossell.
And I'm Gabby Mendoza. Thanks for joining us.